So here with Simeon Baker, who's a guitarist and a singer-songwriter. Now I've noticed something quite unusual about the way you play your guitar. You actually have it on its back and play it like that. Why did you do that? What started that off?
A lot of it was kind of, I used to kind of just play a lot more fingerpicking stuff, and then I saw a guy, Andy McKee, play, and that kind of was really the start of me starting to use percussive guitar elements with it all. So yeah, it was very much, I just played some drums, and a friend of mine back in Australia, we kind of really got into it, and from there I kind of just took more and worked out chords and that. So it's a little bit strange, but yeah, that's kind of the roots of it all.
As well as being a guitarist, you're also a singer-songwriter. Now, I know that you struggled a little bit, and you are struggling a bit with your voice and finding your voice and the tones and whatnot. Why do you think you're having that issue at the moment?
Well, I think it's a very new concept, not concept of course, but it's very new for me to be singing that, because I always just wanted to be a guitarist, and solo guitarist was my thing. But then I think as I kind of maybe matured a little bit more, I really decided that I wanted to work with lyrics and all the music, all the elements, I guess. And I got very inspired by people like John Mayer and those dudes that were really using this like cool guitar thing, which I loved. And then kind of just put lyrics in that. So it's all very new, but the singing is quite a new thing, so I'm kind of still trying to work that out a bit and work that into my guitar playing.
Okay, now have you found that, being a young boy that's come over from Australia to London, have you done this for your career?
Yeah, 100%. I kind of, in Adelaide, which is the city I'm from in Australia, I really decided, the art scene, I didn't really know where I fit in with it and didn't really know exactly the path I wanted to go down. So I decided, London seemed to be the place where a lot of the artists, which I love listening to and love, watching, they seem to be really coming out of London. So I kind of decided, well, there must be something there. So yeah, I decided, just to, without really knowing exactly the path, to kind of just come here and figure it all out and, have a bit of a crazy adventure, I guess. But no, it's been good fun. I think I've definitely had to grow up, especially being in London, just because, I have to figure everything out for myself. I've got no parents kind of telling me what to do. So I think there's that aspect of life which I've definitely had to grow up, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself to be someone who's figured out relationships and love and, all that kind of stuff, which I guess is quite a cliche thing to write about. But yeah, I write about the experiences I have, but I don't claim to be, figured it out by any means. I think there's definitely a lot of the parts of the industry where I would happily say that, as a person and the way I've been brought up is not, I don't think I'm going to be, this whole LA kind of like go crazy scene. But I think there's definitely a lot which has kind of showed me that it's quite a tough industry, of course, and I think most people would know that. And I think I'm kind of tough enough to kind of, get through that and get through those barriers. But I think, until I kind of come to those barriers, it's very hard to know.
So you've seen quite the harder end of the industry, I guess, breaking into it and using busking in different weather, especially in London. Do you think that's made you realise more that you do need to be quite strong and tough and really want something, especially in a difficult industry?
Yeah, well, definitely. And definitely with the busking scene, like in Australia, it's so easy, you can go get, your license and it's so, it's all kind of set out. Whereas in London, it's all like legal, battles and that kind of thing. So it's a very different scene. And if you want to busk, you really have to know what the laws is and, really be able to enforce, not enforce it, but, really need to educate either policemen or, council people sometimes.
Finally, do you think that music makes you happy?
Yeah, definitely. I think without music, I wouldn't really know what to do. So there's that level where, it can make me very annoyed and, confused and frustrated because I want to do it as a career. But I think, majority of the time, it's kind of my passion and love. So keeps me smiling. So that's good fun. It's good fun.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Simeon.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.